everyone, and welcome back to my channel where my neurodivergent and niche interests come to play. And today we're going to be talking about purses. Again, this is definitely a reoccurring theme on my channel. I have tapped into a niche that brings me joy, and that is absolutely talking about all sorts of whatever with handbags. And I thought today I would talk to y'all about bags that I am really interested and looking into and potentially wanting to purchase and acquire in 2024, depending on if I can find it secondhand, because if you didn't know then, you'll know now. And that is that 99.99999% of the time I purchase secondhand. That's just part of what I like to do. Try to convince myself that amidst all the consumeristic chaos, I am doing a little bit of something to be a little bit more sustainable. And so some of these bags are already going to be in the range of what I'd be willing to spend. We're going to talk about a couple that's like, I yearn, I lust, I desire, but I absolutely do not want to pay what it currently is right now, what the price point is. I'm a pretty big stickler for staying with my price points about how much I want to spend, getting things secondhand, as well as depending on the condition, because obviously with price point, it does correlate pretty significantly with the condition of a handbag. So if you're going to be paying less, typically it's going to have more wear and tear on it, which y'all hopefully will know now that that is something that I don't mind. I find a hallmark of a really good quality bag is going to be how well it weathers through wear, and whether if you take care of it, it's going to be something that's going to stay with you for an extended period of time. But with all that being said, we're just going to go right into the bags that I have on my 2024 wish list. Now, this is going to be in a more affordable is not the right word, a less crazy price point than I'm going to be doing a video talking about bags that I lust for that are just too expensive, not going to happen. So this is going to be a more attainable list that I actually could go forward and save for. And we might as well get Coach over with, because there are at least at least four Coach bags that I have on my list. Y'all know I absolutely adore vintage Coach. I have a fairly I'm more experienced with vintage Coach than I am contemporary Coach. I'm going to do a video at some point talking about my contemporary Coach, but for the sake of this, the majority is vintage, except for two bags that strictly speaking are vintage, but they were a re-release, a reissue. Coach being like, ooh, we have this cool bag in the vault that we're going to redo and re-whatever. And that is the Coach Swing Zip. The thrill that went through my body when I saw this, the simplistic silhouette. I'm going to show you the two greens that these are just two absolutely perfect, amazing, glorious, beautiful greens. They make my green loving heart sing. I adore the simplicity. I really, y'all should know by now that I'm very big into the Y2K 90s aesthetic. That's basically who I am right now, living my teenage dreams. And I strongly feel like some of those dreams could be fulfilled with this particular bag. Now, the caveat with this is because it is a re-release, it is a more recent bag, although it is, again, a re-release of a previously existing one. And the re-release price, I believe, is $398, and I'm just not in it. I'm just not feeling it for $400. Unfortunately, because it is a newer bag, or at least the re-release is, finding it on the secondhand market is scarce and far between, and finding it on the secondhand market for even less than what it originally retailed for is even further and farther in between, because I really want the greens. And when it comes to Coach, anything that's green for whatever reason, anything green, blue, whatever, that means it's got a tag of a little bit more premium on it, which really, 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 really sucks. This may end up being a wish shot in the dark because I just don't know that if in a year I'm going to be able to find one in the price point and wear that I would like. There are vintage ones, actual vintage ones floating around scarcely. There was one on Mercari that I had my eye on, but it sold real quickly. The bag became super, super popular. So when it comes to this, I wouldn't mind scoring either one of the newer ones or a vintage one. And that is the same with another one that was Coach released and was like, ooh, in the vault. And that is the Hamptons bag, which is a teeny weeny tiny Y2K adorable looking little impractical bag that I have gained a obsessive appreciation for. I love me a little obnoxious bag. And again, the colors, the aesthetic, the Y2K core, the 90s, the whatever, everything I'm living for. But unfortunately, with the re-release, this one is at least $350, I do believe, which I am just not in it for that small amount of a bag. They do have, again, because this is a re-release, they have ones that are vintage floating around on the market, but again, because it was re-released, it's a really, really popular bag, and so finding it either new or old or re-release or vintage is a bit of a struggle. I would love to score either of these at a price point that I feel comfortable with, but honestly, only time will tell. I do have a video that I've got planned, I haven't filmed it yet, talking about bags that I have that could work in place of some bags that are really popular, so definitely stick around for that. But for now, these are just currently really pretty expensive newer whatevers that I'm like, if I could find it vintage, or if it could, I don't know if it's going to have to end up being on the market for a while for it to finally come down to my price point. But again, like I said, only time will tell on these two if I'm able to get my grubby little hands on them in 2024, or if we're going to see them again in my bag wish list for 2025. Another Coach bag that I have had a kind of lust relationship, but I ended up getting a different bag in lieu of it. That is the Coach, specifically the Coach Soft Tabby. I will leave a couple pictures here of ones. They've got a whole bunch of variety of colorways and styles, and the Coach Tabby has a wide lineage of styles and finishes and colors and stuff like that. This bag is all over the purse subreddit that I am a part of, and it's just... it's probably a contemporary Coach design that one of the favorite ones I've ever seen from them. There are a fair amount of them popping up on the secondhand market, although the ones that I really want, which are those like beautiful boho kind of suede with braided detail and embroidery, those are newer and therefore have a price point of probably around, at least $250. And for that bag, a contemporary Coach bag, comparatively to something that I could kit for vintage, that's like glove tanned leather and materials that I'm familiar with and I really love from the brand, I just haven't really found one that has made me, yes, that is worth it for the price point. It's one on the list that just tends to be a little bit more expensive, even on the secondhand market, because it is so popular. It's also a bag that you need to be very careful with on the secondhand market because there are a large amount of fakes of them. That's just, I mean, super fakes, and fakes have gotten so good. They are so saturated in the secondhand market. I'm going to be doing a video talking about how to navigate purchasing on secondhand market and sort of red flags to look for. But the Soft Tabby has been on my mind for an extended period of time, and again, only time will tell if I'm able to find one in the condition and the style and the price point that I want. Then on a definitely more attainable level price point is the Fossil Shea Small Hobo, which I have a huge love relationship with these smaller crescent-sized hobo bags, sort of a la the Coach Luna right here, which was a little bit of a disappointing bag. I still love it, the color, the style, the shape, but I would like to invest in some less expensive ones that sort of give off that same vibe. I did see someone post about it on that handbag subreddit, and I thought it was a really good dupe. In further videos, we are going to talk about my opinions on the whole, like, oh, you know, did they steal it, or is it looking like this, and this is less expensive, and therefore it's less whatever than something that's, you know, like the Celine Triomphe something 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 bag. But I do like having a wide variety of bags and price points when it comes to something that's like my Fendi Peekaboo, or my Tory Burchley Radziwill, or some Gucci things that I have. I also really like Dooney and Burke. I really enjoy Fossil. I have a couple Fossil bags already. When it comes to purchasing handbags for me, I kind of try to go with like just what's quality and what, if I take care of it, what's going to, again, be with me for a long period of time. That's something that I pay a little bit more attention to than who the brand is, although there is plenty of that. I'm just going to be real. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, oh, well, I don't care about the brand. I mean, obviously I do if I'm buying from them. Next up is, I believe, what is a more contemporary Coach design. This is the Carry crossbody. Y'all know I love me a good crossbody. I've got a whole bunch of them. For a long period when I was purchasing handbags, it was kind of a must that they have a crossbody strap. That was just a given for bags that I was going to get. I've eased off a little bit as I've gained appreciation for smaller bags, which, you know, just little things on the arm looking all kinds of unrealistic. I haven't really searched much for this one on the secondhand market, and I'm not entirely sure about the sizing because I'm really bad at just like guesstimating. And with the picture that was shown, it looks like a cute little, again, that Y2K 90s little bag aesthetic. But I think it may either come in multiple sizes or is bigger than I thought. And if it ends up being bigger, it's one that I'm not going to be interested in, because that shape I would rather have small than large or medium even. Could probably get away with medium, but I'm not currently looking for another really big bag right now. Now I'm gonna take it back to like probably YouTube circa 2008, 2009, 2010, of the days of what's in my bag, which was a little bit less what's in my bag and more what bag am I carrying, and then what makeup am I carrying in that bag. I remember obsessively watching those videos and yearning and longing for all the Burberry and the Celine and the YSL and the Alexander Wang. And while some of those may be in a long term whatever, Celine is pretty, even on the secondhand market, is pretty out of my price point for a lot of the more popular designs. I would really like to relive my teenage young adult dreams with a 3.1 Philip Lim Pashley satchel. I remember this was one of the it bags. Saw so many of these during that era. Luckily, I've currently got one in my Mercari Loves, which is a cute little one, which really taps into my love for those little bags that I'm living for right now. It has been definitely a more work-friendly bag for the bigger ones. It was really popular in those spaces. Again, there are a wide variety of these in different types of leather, in different colors, in different sizes. And on the secondhand market, it is a pretty friendly price point, kind of. Anywhere from, I would say, the low end is going to be $100, and then it probably kind of caps out at $500, depending on what specialness and what material, and if it's a limited edition. I'm probably feeling a little bit comfortable at around $150, $200, depending on if it's like, this is everything I could want in a bag, and color and everything. Currently, the favorite one that I found is that little one. It's in kind of like a tan cream, really nice neutral color that would look fantastic with my wardrobe. That brand has a couple other designs that I really like, but my heart is kind of set on hopefully, potentially this year, finding one that truly, really speaks to me, because when it comes to me purchasing a bag, I will hold out for the absolute perfect colorway, because I feel like if I'm going to invest in it, the time and the energy to research and locate it, I want a fantastical colorway. When I'm investing that much money into something, I want it to be something that I absolutely love. I've got one from Tory Burch. Y'all would have seen me already rave in favorites videos in a review about the Lee Radziwill bag. Never thought I would like a bag from Tory Burch that much. And there is this one, which is the Kira. And why I like this one so much is because it is very, very designer inspired by the YSL Lulu. I have no idea. I have no YSL. I don't know if I will ever have any YSL, because they're, again, even on the secondhand market, pretty stinking pricey. And so I thought this one would be a really nice in between. I know there's a lot of discussion about like, oh, well, this brand did it first, and this is this brand's thing, and it's trashy to carry one that looks similar to the higher end one. I mean, it gets a little bit ridiculous at times, and again, in further videos, we will have more discourse about that. But this one, I just really, really love the look of it, the smooth leather. I've found it comes in a couple different colors. The green one is a little more than I would want to spend. It's on like the 400 mark, which is, if I'm going in that point, I better be getting a good amount of bag for that amount of money. Two that I have on my wish list right now are around the 200 mark with pretty good condition. Again, I take into consideration wear and whether something is something that I can like if it takes just a little bit of conditioning to bring it back to life. It really is, I'm not going to buy something for a cheaper price point just because to get it for less expensive if I'm going to have to invest a lot more money to bring it up to snuff. And I'm learning to be more realistic with not buying things just because they are less expensive when they have obviously serious flaws. And with any of these, if any of y'all have experience with these, any recommendations, tips, whatever, I would love to hear all that down below. From a brand that I have absolutely no experience with, I have heard really, really good things, really good stories and experiences about the bag as well as the company from the purse subreddit, is the Songmont Wonton candy bag. It's this really cute kind of like ruched, a little bit like dumpling-esque. The one I have liked right now is this really, really pretty like lime, not chartreuse. Yeah, chartreuse. A really pretty light, just kind of like almost pastel, but a little bit too acidic to be pastel, if that makes any kind of sense. I like green in any shape or form. I like wearing different shades of green all at one time. I enjoy a full monochromatic look. Songmont is a pretty popular brand right now, and for that, again, on the secondhand market, there is a wide variety of price points, so they tend to be a little bit higher. When it comes to secondhand, I really like to pay around 35 to 50% less than what the bag originally retailed for. I have no idea if that is an unrealistic way of doing things, but so far with the bags that I have, it hasn't really done me wrong. I didn't even realize I had a Yves Saint Laurent one on here after sitting here being like, I'll probably never own one. This is a older design, and therefore there is less demand for it on the market. It's not going to be nearly as popular as the Lulu and some of the other, just like the little hobo ones, just ones that I feel more popular and you see more on social media. This is the Muse 2, which is a really big bag. I love how I've got this where I was just like, I'm not looking to get a really big bag, but I just adore the look of this. I have again been researching and finding, and the thickness and the glazing on that handle alone just really, really does it for me. We're going to be doing a video talking about details that really just do it for me in a bag, and a sturdy, thick handle and really good, crisp glazing. Just, I found this bag in a couple different colors that just are beautiful. I found a really pretty deep caramel one with like faux croc print, which I didn't realize I could love as much as I do. And one that's a really nice, dark, deep chocolate brown. They're just, again, elements to this bag that I find myself really attracted to. I had never seen it posted on the subreddit. It was one I just kind of found while scrolling through the multiple handbags on the available market. And that thick handle, that crisp glazing, that beautiful sturdiness of that handbag really makes my heart sing. It is higher on the price point. The ones that I have are around, like, not that I have, that I've got looking at, are around the $350 mark. I've seen one sell for as low as $225, but typically that's with a bit more wear and not in a color that I really want to invest in. Like, I'm not going to buy a less expensive one just because it's less expensive and it's like cream, which is a color that I don't have a lot of, and I'm not a huge fan of in bags because of transfer. Time will tell if this is one that I'll actually go in on, because when you're getting into that $350 price point, there are other bags, like a lot of vintage Coach, there's some Gucci, there are some other bags that fall in that price point that might edge that one out. We'll have to see how that goes and what availability is and everything. But this is a bag that has really, really intrigued me, and it would be nice if I could find one in the price point and the colorway that I'm looking for. Taking it back to the what's in my bag days, this is like, I wanted this bag so freaking much, but at the time, it was just way, way out of my budget. And that is the Alexander Wang Rocky bag. The amount of nostalgia I get instilled in my heart thinking about this bag and looking at this bag. Thankfully, this is one of the probably more attainable ones, because you can find them for probably around, I've got ones that I've looked at that are like $100, $150, in a wide variety of really good colors. The Rocky handbag is one that has been around for a fairly long time, so it does have a wide variety of colors. It's got a couple different sizes. I want the one that's probably about yay big, maybe a little bit smaller. I don't want a mini one, though it is absolutely absurdly and adorably cute. Although that mini bag falls under some of the mini bag where it's like, the less bag it is, the more expensive it is, and I'm not entirely sure what all that is about. But I've found ones that are green, I've found some really nice brown ones, some really nice gray ones. There is a soft purpley lavender one that I've got on my list right now that is, I don't have a lot of purple whatever, although I think purple would complement my mostly brown, green, and black wardrobe. I've got some blue going on in there. My three favorite colors are green, brown, and blue. So out of a bunch of them, this one is probably the most realistic of what's going to happen. I've got a couple that I've looked at that I just haven't pulled the trigger on for whatever reason. Something's been holding me back, so maybe I haven't found that end all be all one that would be, this is the one I want out of all the ones that I've seen. But it's definitely one that is extremely nostalgic, that I think would give me an element of joy in reliving the fashion that I wanted to have back when I was a young adult. Next up is kind of a wild card. I haven't done any research on the secondhand market. I honestly haven't done much research on the regular market. I am so sorry if I am butchering this, but this is the, oh goodness me, Berberovic Reina bag, which again, I found on the subreddit, looking glorious and beautiful and just absolutely everything I could possibly want in a bag. I'm pretty sure this is a foreign company. There have been a couple bags that I've really liked that are from like, you know, Oriental, Britain and just other countries where you can't really get them here. And, you know, if you're getting them here, it's even really harder to find them on the secondhand market because it's going to be a much more niche brand. I absolutely adore a lot of bags by Smack Amsterdam, but it's really hard getting that ish from there to here. Again, this one is kind of just an honorable mention, a shot in the dark. It just, I saw it and I just had to add it to the list because it is so beautiful and so gorgeous. I'm always interested in expanding my repertoire of what is good quality handbags that, you know, I can add to my collection, that I can recommend, because again, I really want to educate about how to be able to find higher quality bags regardless of what the brand is, just what's straight up good quality. Then last but not least, the Strathberry Mosaic bag. I have seen this brand all over the subreddit. It is just, there are a couple designs that I am absolutely not interested at all, that actually kind of make me, that looks a little fiddly, that looks a little complicated. Whereas this one just absolutely, it exudes those crisp lines. I feel like it's a design that really is going to let the quality of the leather and the craftsmanship speak for itself. And while there are, you know, very telltale signs and branding and design elements to it that make it clearly that brand, it isn't anything that's like loud and obnoxious, although I like me some loud and obnoxious as well. There is a wide breadth of, you know, to like quiet luxury, and I got some logos. I find that it really expresses my style more to have a mixture of both. Again, I like quality. That's what I'm going for. The one thing sending me back on this is Strathberry is a pretty expensive brand in the term of like bags and retail. Apparently they're not that expensive, which boggles my mind. But when you're talking about bags that are like $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000, I guess it is going to come off as a little bit more of a manageable price point. A difficult bit is also finding it on the secondhand market. There isn't a huge amount of inventory going around, and inventory that is going around has been, you know, colors that I'm not really super interested, and at a pretty high price point for colors that don't really spark joy. So that really is, I think, going to be a scouring through the internet, and maybe, hopefully, potentially, who knows if I'm ever going to come across one that makes my heart sing with all the right parameters. Strathberry is also a brand that I have heard basically nothing but good things about. There are always going to be, obviously, if you're interested in purses, I definitely recommend the subreddit. That has been such a useful tool for getting information about brands' customer service, about the quality, about what to look for and everything. I have been able to glean so much information about the market, either regular retail or secondhand, from this subreddit. So if you're an enthusiast, I highly recommend that. But ultimately, what really is just keeping me from going in and biting the bullet is, you know, because I'm not going to buy it firsthand, especially that price point, is just not it for me. Finding it secondhand, it's just going to be one of those ones that I feel is going to be less likely for me to be able to attain compared to the Rocky. But that is me talking about handbags that are on my 2024 wish list. I would love to know if there are bags that you're interested in sneaking out, looking at, you know, thinking about wanting to get. If you made it this far, give yourself a big giant gold fucking star. You deserve it for listening to me talk about my niche interests for well over a half hour at this point. For everyone who has shown me support and everything like that on this channel and my videos, thank you so much. I am finding so much joy in pursuing these different interests and hobbies of mine on this channel. So I thank each and every one of you for giving me at least even a little bit of a platform to talk about all that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video or vlog. Bye!